Coming up in Mountain News this morning, a new person throws his hat in the ring to try to win the governor's mansion. And in honor of Lung Cancer Awareness Month, doctors urge you to talk to your doctor if you happen to smoke.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. I'm Dakota Makris. It's almost 5 o'clock here. Thanks so much for waking up with us on this Tuesday morning. Let's head over to Brandon Robinson for a look at our chilly start to the morning this morning. Brandon, good morning to you.
Good morning. It's not as cold as it was yesterday in spots. Now, this morning when I left my house, it was still in the low 20s, so I think it felt a little colder this morning at my house than it did yesterday, but I had more frost this morning as well, so we're keeping an eye on that as we head out the door this morning. But teens, 20s, and 30s on the temperature map. So again, all kinds of locations there, different spots this morning. 16 Monticello, 19 in Irvin, 32 in Prestonsburg, 36 in Jackson, 18 in Clintwood, 19 in Jonesville, 30 in Logan, 30 in Wise, 20 in Manchester as you head through the first part of your day. Dew points are a little bit lower this morning, so still a little bit of dry air out there as you go through the first part of your day. You see those teens and 20s on those dew points. Thankfully, not in single digits anymore. We're going to continue to see things a little bit on the cooler side, continue to see that there. So if you're heading out the door here pretty soon this morning, now again, remember there's lots of school closings and delays. You can see those on the bottom of your screen and on WYMT.com. Well, they'll be on the bottom of your screen here in just a little bit. But again, school closings and delays, getting ready for the Thanksgiving holiday. But if you are heading out today, a little extra there on your coffee meter, depending on where you are, you could need a little bit more than that. Max warming needed in some areas, especially that are a little bit on the colder side. And as we hit the out the door forecast, we're going to continue to see, again, what I can describe as a milder day as we head deeper into this forecast. 56 a daytime high, which will take us a little bit above average. Again today, 55 is the average high, and we'll continue to see those nice temperatures all the way through Thanksgiving. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, the crowded Republican field for next year's governor's race continues to grow. Somerset Mayor Alan Keck has officially announced he is running for the Republican nomination. Our Keaton Hall reports.
With a song and a prayer.
We ask today, God, that you would direct the path of our state.
Somerset Mayor Alan Keck formally announced his candidacy for governor of Kentucky.
We're really excited. You know, we've got a game plan to move Kentucky forward. We're going to address some of the biggest challenges that we have in workforce, in growth, and in public safety.
The Republican joins a crowded field of candidates for next year's election.
I'm not running against anybody, candidly. I'm running for something, and that's an opportunity to lead our Commonwealth, to cast vision, to bring people together and move our state forward.
Keck says his business background separates him from his peers.
You know, I'm the only one in the race that, to my knowledge, that's really led in both private and public sector. I've signed the front of paychecks, not just the backs of them.
Keck also says his support of incentivizing maternity leave differentiates his campaign.
To try to get back into the workplace after a couple weeks is just really difficult. And so again, our policies need to reflect our values. And if we're going to be pro-life and pro-family, then I think that's one policy that would suggest that we are.
The Somerset mayor, who was recently re-elected, says he's ready for people outside of Southern Kentucky to know his name.
As people learn about Keck for Kentucky and they learn about the Keck game plan, they're going to realize this is not just another cookie-cutter campaign. They're going to see somebody who's authentic, who's real, who cares about people, and is willing to go against the grain if that's what it takes.
The Republican primary will be in May. In Somerset, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
Another candidate for governor and Attorney General Daniel Cameron has hinted at taking legal action against a newly signed executive order from Governor Andy Beshear. It would give more access to medical marijuana for some Kentuckians. Cameron says the governor is going around the legislature.
Again, it's, I think, disappointing to see him go it on his own when he talks constantly about Team Kentucky, but yet you see this individualized decision-making coming from him. So I think it's something that we need to continue to look at and work through deliberately with the General Assembly, and I'm hopeful that they will do that in this next session.
Well, the governor's medical marijuana executive order is set to go into effect on January 1st. The General Assembly reconvenes on January 3rd. Well, November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month, and one doctor says if you are a smoker, you should see your primary care doctor to set up a screening. And if you vape, he says it is too early to tell if it leads to lung cancer, but he still issues this warning.
There are chemicals in the vaping that put you are at risk of lung cancer and that are known to be, carcinogens that can cause cancer. And in addition, vaping causes significant lung injury or lung disease.
Doctors say you are at high risk for lung cancer if you have smoked for at least 30 years and are 55 to 80 years old. Well, experts are predicting the upcoming holiday weekend to be busy despite the increase in inflation this year. Kentucky Retail Federation says it is encouraging people to remember to shop local because Black Friday and Small Business Saturday are big days for businesses in your community.
You know, that's a big weekend for small businesses. For a lot of them, that is their biggest day of the holiday season, and they rely on that, to help get them through, through the holidays and through the start of the year.
Officials say it is important to remember when you are shopping this holiday weekend to be patient with workers as they try to keep shelves stocked while meeting consumer needs. And Hazard's Christmas for Charity is back in person this year. It's been virtual since the start of the pandemic. The gala raises money for nonprofits. This year, the event is back at Hazard Community and Technical College on Saturday, December 3rd. It starts at 8 p.m. Money raised will go to the Appalachian Arts Alliance here in Hazard.
Also goes towards helping the children in our community to continue to take music lessons, piano lessons, dance, theater for absolutely free if that's what needs to happen.
Tickets are $85 in advance or $100 at the door. You can buy tickets at the Art Station in downtown Hazard or at Kentucky Farm Bureau, Janet Smith Agency on Morton Boulevard. Well, thank you so much for getting your Tuesday morning started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, an earthquake rattles parts of Indonesia, leaving death and destruction behind.
And the forecast continues to stay cold in the morning and pleasant in the afternoon. For now, I'll tell you about some changes coming later this week in about 3 minutes.